Hey people, welcome back to Dead Rising. Frank's gonna need some Zombrex pretty soon. Luckily we have some, so that's not really a concern for us. So how are you guys doing today? And then I remembered, no one can talk to me. You can leave a comment down in the comment section below. However, from my understanding, whenever someone says, hey, how are you doing? And when I say whenever somebody, I mean when a YouTuber says, hey, how are you doing? I don't think people really respond to those types of questions. I have never had a person say in the comments, hey, I'm doing pretty good today. Thanks for asking. That hasn't occurred. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong places. Oh.
Frank, there's someone trying to get into an ATM machine in the Shamrock Casino. I think he's trying to rob it.
I think I know who that is. Anyways. Oh.
What is it? It looks like someone's searching the shelves at Chris's Fine Foods in the Palisades. Maybe he's seen some Zombrex.
Holy. Oh, okay, let's do Hunger Pains first. Shoot, we got a ton of quests to do here. We don't actually need the Zombrex, but it's never a bad thing to have. So I guess we'll go grab that. And there's a lot we can do. We have a lot of options here. Whether or not we're going to get everything done, that remains to be seen. And I completely forgot what I was talking about. In typical Fredgy fashion, I'm talking about something and bam, I just forget. That's frustrating. Oh, I know what I was talking about. Because most of the stuff I watch on YouTube is gameplay of other video games. So when people leave a comment down in the comment section below, it's usually something to do about the game, or hey man, I like your content. Or sometimes on my channel, people will say, hey, good video. And sometimes I'm suspicious if they actually even watched the video. Or someone will make a pun or something else. I find the highest rated comments on YouTube are usually witty... I was gonna say witty one-liners. Some things that make people laugh, like funny comments rate highly, genuine comments of sincere appreciation, or something that just really speaks to the audience. And those might sound like pretty straightforward and simple, which they are, really, if you think about it. But it's what I've noticed. Negativity, well, unjustified negativity, I don't think makes for a popular comment on YouTube. I've never seen a comment saying, hey, this is stupid, and then it gets all the thumbs up. Unless a lot of people agree with that sentiment. However, most of the time, people watch content because they're fans of it. So, most of the likes to dislike ratio bars on the videos I've seen have a much higher ratio of liked than disliked, which I think that makes sense because people watch the stuff they want to watch. So, what does that mean in simple terms? That means that I'm going to watch the stuff I like to watch, so I'm more likely to leave a like than I am to leave a dislike for a particular piece of content. Because, again, why would I watch stuff that I don't like watching? So that's why I say negativity usually isn't popular on YouTube videos. However, there are exceptions. For example, I was watching some Dawn of War 3 gameplay videos, and people were saying, oh, I don't like the look of this, like this looks bad, and it got a lot of upvotes. It really needs a squeal, why not? But the reason why I think they got a lot of upvotes is because people were passionate about Dawn of War and they want to see a game in the franchise do well, and they're a little bit disappointed when what they see doesn't align with what they want from the game. And so I see those exceptions, but again, from what I've noticed from my time on YouTube, and I've been on YouTube for a bit. I mean, I've been creating content for the longest time, but I have been watching videos on YouTube for a number of years, absolutely. Creating content's fun, though. Just making videos on YouTube and then knowing that someone might watch it tickles me. going to my analytics page and seeing that, oh, someone watched some of your content today. Alright. I think I went the wrong way. No, I need to go upstairs. Can I not? Uh-oh. Oh boy. Oh dear. This is not what I want. Here we go. I might have been just better off at that point, walking up the escalators, but that's okay. Oh, Chris finds food. Hello. Is the guy in here? Oh, easy. Okay, so this guy wants something to eat, which is fine by me. So we'll give you the coffee, because you don't really need that. Coffee's pretty good. I do like coffee. We should give you a weapon. Can I give you the katana?
Yes, sir.
Alright, and we'll quickly run this guy home. And now that I think about it, I could have checked out the map, and that would have been much more. And also, why is the game lagging out on me?
Let's go.
Okay, he's fine. Frank, what's going on, man? How come? Alright. That was very curious. That was... It was one of those things that you had to play the game yourself to understand what I was talking about. You might just be thinking, oh, this...
Follow me.
Oh, also, let's check the... Okay, hold on. I went the wrong way.
Move it.
Alright, and... We're getting chased by looters, but that's okay.
Waiting on you.
So I was thinking about something else I could talk about, because part of the joy of doing the YouTube videos for me is, again, talking about random things that don't relate to anything at all. So, and for this game, it really lends itself to do that.
Let's move.
Did he get grabbed? Oh, he's fine. Gave him the sword was a good plan.
Come on, speed it up.
And we need to make more quick step. Absolutely. But we'll get there. Everything in due time.
Hey, keep up. Come on, speed it up.
So I was gonna say, when I first was starting up the recording, I was saying to myself, I could talk about the textile industry. I wasn't really seriously thinking about that because I don't know a whole much about the textile industry. But I was thinking to myself, I could take this one step further. I could talk about how mass production has changed everything. And really, we could go into it as much as I want. I don't know much about the 1800s. Or was it 1700s? Case in point, I don't know history. But
Move it.
mass production is the reason why society is the way it is today. Which, I don't think that's necessarily fair. That's a pretty bold, sweeping statement. There's the extreme bean. Alright. Or the dark bean.
Hey, I'm waiting on you.
We went the wrong way.
Hey, keep up.
We should have just used a shortcut in the first place. Also, and then we'll do Strand Siren afterwards, and then we can do Bank Run. I think that's what we'll do, yes.
Come on.
And we can do 2 of them in this video.
Hurry it up.
Now, to say mass production is the reason why society is the way it is right now, that's... I think that's a little extreme, because there's a lot of factors that go into it. You can't consider just mass production, but you also have to consider the politics, the climate. There's so many variables that to brush it all off as one thing is a bit disingenuous, I find. But I think mass production really opened the way to capitalism and a consumeristic society because it made it easier to buy and sell. Also, I see the word awkward there. I'd point it out, but again, it doesn't do anything. Oh, is he gonna give me Zombrex? Yes. I will use that. Thank you.
All right.
Neat. But without mass production, I don't think we would live in a society where hanging out at the shopping mall is a popular pastime. Because, excuse me, for our society, I think the transfer of wealth is important for our society to function. And I want to make the disclaimer that I'm not economist. So this is This is musings of a guy playing a video game who might not really know what he's talking about. I want to throw that out there right now, so don't take what I say to be absolutely true. But think about it, like, we're always buying and selling and
Love it.
purchasing and wealth. I think a lot of people put a lot of value on just because, like, that's just the nature of the beast. That's just how our society is, and that's why we have these games like Dead Rising that poke fun at us being zombies where all we want to do is consume, because, again, like, that's the society that we live in. But mass production has made it possible for us to do that because it's easy to produce things. So if it's easy to produce things, you have more goods that you can end up selling. Also, we need to do this. Actually, there's probably I was gonna say there's probably a blender in there. Coffee creamer is fine for now. We can go to the blenders afterwards. That's a bit of a luxury item. Well, the blenders aren't the luxury item. The drinks that we can get from them is the luxury item. Well, I'm thinking now because of mass production, we get. I think I misread this. So, with mass production, you get a lot of goods that you can make cheaply. Okay. So that means we can crank out a ton of games of Dead Rising for a low cost because it's easy to be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. But now that I'm thinking about it, there's also a market for handcrafted goods, for lack of a better term. What's going on? Why is things exploding around me? So, to give an example of what I'm talking about, let's consider a wood carving. It's hard to mass produce a wood carving. You could do it, but for that as like a piece of art, people would say, oh, no, I would be interested in someone spending many hours to create a unique sculpture. There's definitely a market for that, but I think my point still stands, though, because most of the things you do see have been mass-produced. So think of like an iPhone, like it's an amazing piece of technology, and someone did have to develop that in the first place. So the prototypes, yeah, someone spent a lot of hours probably figuring out how everything works and, you know, putting together all the gears and stuff. But once they got to that point, then they could just give the plans to the factory manufacturer and they just say, okay, just make this over and over again. Like now we've perfected the way to make these iPhones quickly and easily. And I should be careful. I don't think mass production is bad. I should be careful because I realize now that I may have had a negative overtone to this topic conversation. That's not exactly what I'm going on about, or at least trying to avoid. But rather, I think it's part of the reason why we are living in the society that we are today. But because of mass production, it's easier for people to get, well, more things. It's easier to... Well, let's actually head back to the safe room. I'm fine to keep going, making these trips back and forth. Simply because we have the time to do so. Dead Rising 2 gives you a lot of time, so for me to go back and forth like this is terribly time inefficient, but I can still get away with doing so because the game is more fair with the time that it does give you. Oh, also, we're almost out of time, so I might end the episode pretty quickly here. But mass production, yes. So, because of it, more people can get iPhones because things are more affordable, because they're cheaper to make, because we can just say, okay, we can just fire out a bunch of these bad boys all at once. It'd be like, say, if I was making a bunch of sandwiches. Instead of making one sandwich individually and then going on to make the next sandwich, what I could do is I could put down all the slices of bread, take out the butter, put some butter in all the slices of bread. Then what I do is I put the ham on all the other slices of bread afterwards, and then I do the cheese for all bread, and so on and so forth. Like, you understand what I'm saying is that we just use the assembly line techniques. And in a way, it's more efficient. Because of these efficiencies, we can cut, say, labor costs or something else. And for me, it seems that the natural segue from mass production is automation, because mass production allows us to create a lot of things cheaply and easily, and we've covered this. Automation would be the process of saying, hey, now we can actually take this and do it without any human labor. But then automation has huge implications on society too, and I believe I've talked about automation before, so I'm hesitant to dive right into it, because I don't know if you guys would appreciate that. But see, now I've made this awkward situation. I've stirred up false drama. I'm saying, oh no, people might get upset if I talk about automation again. I'm really gonna hurt some feelings. See, this is what you gotta do for a YouTuber, though. It's a really cutthroat industry. You gotta stir up some tension and make people care about your product, which is really important. So if I can create this drama saying, oh no, what happens if I talk about automation again, I will be the most popular YouTuber of all time. Because honestly, life's a popularity contest. It's all about getting up to the top and living the American dream. But what if you're Canadian or someone else from a different country? Then I don't have an answer for you. I guess the answer is to move over to America. Whoa, she's standing up. Neat. How much change is that? $5,000? Wow. Alright, anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next episode.